he felt like he'd lost his dad 10 years ago when the dementia offset, because the last little while it wasn't really the person we knew that we were seeing. And so mentally we were prepared for him to go.
That's one of the things I know with my daughter. While she thought she brought everything because the car was packed, she didn't bring everything.
It seems like every time they come home, they're leaving with a full car again. I'm like, how much stuff
do you actually need?
It's someone else saying, okay, do you really need this? Maybe you can donate it. Maybe you can sell it and give it away. But
them doing the evaluation, because you doing the evaluation of their stuff is emotional.
Yeah.
Is emotional. Though doing it while they're alive is so much better than you doing it when they've passed. So with my mom's house, she was in Brampton. We were there for 3 months every Saturday. We didn't get professional help because we didn't know any better, but now knowing better. Yeah. Hi, everyone. We're back with another Sandwich Years. And for those who are just tuning in for the first time, what the Sandwich Years is about is when you're actually taking care of the top bun, we call some sort of senior elder. Could be your mom, your dad, could be your aunts, uncles, or just a senior that you love. And then you're also taking care of the bottom bun. And so the bottom bun is possibly your kids, nieces, nephews, somebody who's dependent on you. We've even stretched it to fur babies as well, because they actually are very dependent on you. And then you also have yourself in the middle. You're kind of squeezed and blessed. And so that is what the Sandwich Years is about. And so today I have my friend Divya with me today. And so Divya, if you can tell everybody who you are and how you're squeezed and blessed.
Thank you, Chantal, and I'm so happy to be here. So my name is Divya Steinwall. I am a mom, a wife, a mother, a daughter-in-law, a sister, a friend, and an entrepreneur. All of that.
All mixed up into one.
All of that, all of the above. And just sandwiched between aging parents, aging in-laws, and my 2 beautiful girls who are just flying the nest right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we connected, was we were both crying over the fact that our daughters were going away to school. Yep. And so let's dissect your buns for a second. That doesn't sound good. Okay. So
what podcast is this again?
So let's talk about the bottom bun, because that seems simpler, and then we'll go to the top.
Sure.
So bottom buns, you have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Both of them went off to school.
Yes. So my older one, she's 19. She just went off second year, living off campus on her own for the first time.
And how was that?
I think she's really excited. I was excited for her. Big change.
Living off res too in your own first kind of, is she living with somebody or separate?
She's got a roommate. But yeah, now she's got to cook for herself. She's got to clean. So it's a big step for her.
Yeah. And I think the cooking for yourself is the key, because when you live on res, there's res food, and you don't even have to meal plan. You kind of just pick. Now she has to meal plan, grocery.
Yep.
And then also when she's tired, work at all too, or no?
No, not at the moment, although she is looking for
some sort of job around there. Yeah. Okay. And where did you say she was? What?
She's at the University of Guelph.
Okay, so in Guelph area. Okay.
So about an hour and a half away. And then my younger one, she's going to be 18 in a few weeks, and she just started first year at University of Laurier.
Okay. So how did that one go? Because I think we were talking about, I don't even remember which one, but I know we both were in tears. So how did the second one go?
It was emotional because she's a baby, and as much as we missed my older one, Maya, when she left, I still had one at home, so it softened the blow a little bit. And then they were both home all summer, which was really nice. And I got used to having the full house. So when they both left the same weekend, there was a lot of tears,
And now you're stuck with him.
Yeah, thank God he's in the office 4 days a week. Let's just say that.
Well, yeah, but you know what? This is funny because a lot of the times when you're in a marriage or a relationship and stuff, and the kids leave, like, it's all about the kids during a certain period of your relationship. And now they've left. Now it's just like, hey, hi, how are you? Who are you? And what do you like now? What don't you like? So now that's another piece of your puzzle right now, is to rediscover the fun you have with your husband.
Exactly. It's like we're dating again. And it's nice when some nights we're like, you know what, it's a nice evening. Let's just go out. It's no point cooking for just the two of us. Or, you know, there's
the meal prep is a little different
too. The meal prep, the time, we're a little bit more relaxed. And it's like the early days of our relationship where we're dating again. I like it.
Okay. That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
With the girls gone, how do you communicate with them? Any advice on that kind of piece?
Well, we have our chats, and there is the mandatory Sunday night FaceTime call. So that
separate or all three of you?
It depends on timing. If we can get all four of us on the phone at the same time. Otherwise, one will call and then the other one will call and we'll get to catch up. But we stay in contact regularly, and just check in. How's your day? How are things going? What'd you eat? Did you clean your room? Have you done laundry yet?
All those sorts of those kind of check-ins. Because you just want to make sure they're doing it, but deep inside they're doing it, because they'll run out of clothes soon.
Exactly.
And you're not there to help them, or they'll run out of clothes because they have endless clothes at home.
Yep.
They didn't bring everything. And that's one of the things I know with my daughter. While she thought she brought everything because the car was packed, she didn't bring everything.
It seems like every time they come home, they're leaving with a full car again. I'm like, how much stuff
do you actually need?
Exactly.
Okay, so overall, send-off was pretty good.
Yep.
The girls seem to be doing well.
They're thriving.
You're looking at it at a different angle to sit there and go, you know what, let's have some time with my spouse, enjoy that. And maybe even, we'll talk about self-care a little later, but maybe even actually we can talk about it now.
Yep.
Doing things for yourself now because they're gone. Because you have more time, a little bit more time because they're away. Not that you're not thinking of them or feeling for them, but you have time a little bit more.
Yeah, like when they were home, they were the anchor, right? It was, you don't want to make plans during the week all the time because you want to be home to cook dinner, spend time with them, especially when they're going to be going away, that the time is limited. But now it has created a bit of capacity for me to spend a little bit more time having lunch with friends or going on a walk. I love my mornings. My husband's at the door at 7:20, and that's my me time. I, make my coffee. Okay. I do my Wordle, my puzzles, and the TV's off. It's just quiet, and that's
gives you some time.
That's my time for me.
And then you go into entrepreneur mode.
Yeah. Not that you ever shut that off.
You don't.
But
and it's funny as I talk to more like dual, like people who have their own businesses like myself, we don't shut it off. You're constantly kind of working at it in some shape or form.
Yeah, crafting those emails in the middle of the night. And
even those ideas that you have, I could do something like this, writing it in a book somewhere so they don't get lost. And then the challenge is going through the book after.
What did I mean by that?
Exactly. What did I say? I could do what? But that piece. So that entrepreneur stuff, you do have that juggling that you're juggling with as well. Yep. And so then we also now throw in the top buns. So you've got in-laws and parents.
Yep.
Let's talk about parents first.
Yeah. So I'm truly blessed. Both my parents are, touch wood, a healthy 76, but they're going through a big transformation for them. They're downsizing, moving out of the family home that I grew up in, the home they've been in for 40 years, and moving into a condo, which is a great move for them at their age, but it's a huge change.
So a house that you live in for 40 years. Let's look at that. Look at your camera. What is that?
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. And it's how big? It was a 3-story house, like a basement, everything.
House, basement, semi-detached. It seems like once my sister and I, neither one of us has lived there, and I've been out of the house for 25 years. My sister, I think it's 15 or so. My mother has taken over every room of the house, every closet.
You might as well. There's room.
Every room. And so it was a shock to me how much of
stuff
hoarders I didn't realize my parents were. So yeah, it's been a lot.
It's quite a bit of stuff. So okay, so to downsize, whose idea was it to downsize? Like when did they realize, or did something happen where you're just like, you don't need all of this house?
It was actually me.
Okay.
I happened to be visiting a cousin of mine who was temporarily staying in a condo, and I went in and I'm like, this is perfect. The location was perfect. The size was perfect. And I thought knowing my cousin was just there temporarily, I thought this would be really great for my parents. They're at that age. It's getting harder to go up and down the stairs. They have someone who's doing the main lawn maintenance for them, shoveling snow, all of that. So it just all of it aligned. So in a way, I brought this on myself.
So it was your fault.
I have no one else to blame, but it's the right move, the right time, the right place for them. Okay. And so when I brought it up to them, I was expecting resistance, but to my pleasant surprise, they were very, very open to it.
So did you position it in a certain way? Like just so if somebody else is going through the same thing, because I'll be honest, our parents will hold on to the house that they're in for as long as they possibly can. The stairs is normally the first indicator because they don't want to go up and down the stairs anymore. And so a condo or something like that, that's one level, makes a lot of sense. Yep. So if somebody is starting to feel like, how did you position it to them?
So we'd had discussions. My uncle had Alzheimer's, and he had been in a home a few years ago before he passed. My father-in-law was diagnosed with dementia, and we had to move him into a home. And so in my parents' head, touch wood, they're both healthy in terms of, everyone has aches and pains, but no chronic health issues. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So those experiences with extended family, they were like, well, we're not ready for a home. We're still good. So I knew that wasn't a topic to broach.
Not yet.
Not yet. So I told them, I said, I know you're not ready for a nursing home or a long-term care home yet, but I think this would be a good transition for you, even if it's for 5, 6, 10 years, however long. They love to travel.
Okay. So and it would make sense. Yeah. It gives them more freedom to travel too, right?
Exactly. And so I said, you don't need that much space. All of their grandchildren are older now. They don't need to come and stay over there as often anymore. And so I said, it's time for you to, it's a nice spacious condo that you have more than enough room. It's really close to me, but I said, you don't need all that space, the stairs, the stuff, the maintenance, all of that.
The other piece too is selling that home gives them some financial freedom to travel even more.
Exactly.
And so if they can travel, travel while you can.
Exactly.
So so using their own, first and foremost, family realities and other experiences that they're seeing, because it's not a surprise that what happens to you when you get older, when you're elderly, like, because they have friends that are going through different things.
Exactly.
So using that as an experience, also reminding them what they enjoy. So if there is that freedom extra, that could help in the support to say, you need to get a smaller home. And then the financial side of it, financially, it could help them. Yeah. Right. Because it will free up money.
Exactly.
So that's good. So we now say they're ready to move. Yeah. And this is where we had talked before when you're like, stuff. With stuff, how did you guys approach that? Like, how long did it take for you to sort of downsize the house? Did you get professional help? Is there professional help? How does that work?
So we're in the midst. So it started off by first, okay, we have to get the house ready for sale. And that in itself was a challenge. My parents haven't had to go through the process in 40 years. And the process has changed a lot. So staging, for them, that was just a
What do you mean you want to take down all my pictures? Yeah, what do you mean?
My furniture's great. My lime green walls, I love them. Why wouldn't anyone love them? And so this concept of you sell your house first online, it has to, nice neutral paint color, decluttering, professionally staging. Those are just table stakes now. Yeah. But for them, they didn't understand the why, the investment, why we had to do that.
So did you explain it, or did the professionals, like the real estate agents and all of those people, kind of were able to explain it to them?
when I said it, it was like, no, no, no. But when the professional said it, it was like, oh, okay. There was a lot of resistance, and it was kind of, we had to provide a united front. Me, the agent, we did hire a professional to help come in with the original decluttering to get the house ready for sale.
So there are people out there that are organizers and things like that can actually help you declutter your home.
Yep.
And that also helps, because I couldn't even imagine just doing it with them. They would argue with you. And stuff that you would put in the box, I would be 100% by the time you got home, those things were out of the box, back in its spot.
And that was what was helpful, is by having someone else come in, it took the emotion out of it.
Okay.
And that was really key.
Okay.
Is that it's not me and my mom or my dad arguing about it. It's someone else saying, okay, do you really need this? Maybe you can donate it. Maybe you can sell it. Maybe you can, give it away. But
them doing the evaluation, because you doing the evaluation of their stuff is emotional.
Yeah.
Is emotional. And so I have to say to you though, doing it while they're alive is so much better than you doing it when they pass. So with my mom's house, she was in Brampton. We were there for 3 months every Saturday. We didn't get professional help because we didn't know any better, but now knowing better.
Yeah.
And as I said, you don't know what you don't know. But the whole factor is we were there for 3 months, and like things, it was just a lot, like crystals. And my mom sewed. So there were bags and bags and bags of fabric. So you're finding all these things. And you have a professional that's helping you, which is phenomenal. Okay, so the professional comes in, you sort everything. Did they sell stuff or no?
They did, and they were great. My parents, for people who sometimes struggle with technology, they figured out Facebook Marketplace pretty damn fast.
Wait, so your parents did it?
Yeah, they cleared out a lot of their furniture, some of their china, the Royal Dalton figurines,
and the
crystal glassware,
crystal glasses,
all of that. So they were very good with that. So we got the house painted, decluttered, ready for sale. Touch wood, we had a great agent we work with. We got the house sold. So now is when the real work begins, because we've got to now empty out the closets, empty out the kitchen cupboards, get stuff packed. Now the real sorting begins, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So
because
now there's a timeline too.
So how long was the declutter to the move? Like, did we buy our house already before we decluttered and all that stuff? Or
so their house is closing the end of November. They
haven't moved yet.
They haven't moved yet. We just sold the house last week. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Now is the time that we have between now and November 28th
to get a 3-story house fitting into
a 1,200 square foot condo. And by the way, my parents are going away for 3 weeks in November on vacation.
So who's doing it?
My mom's like, we'll just give you the keys and you can take care of it while we're gone.
And the joke is that there are people to help. So we'll talk about that offline. But there are movers company as well. And so, so that's a part of being squeezed and blessed, is sometimes you just get not stuck, but handed things to do. And because they are your parents, there's no other person that would do it, and you will have to do it now. So manage your business, and manage your own emotional side of it as well, because you lived in that house for a long period of time.
And it's been interesting, because as much as, it sounds like it's a burden and it's overwhelming, it's also been really nice it's given me time that I'm able to spend with my parents, which otherwise we don't necessarily make that time on a regular basis. But seeing my old photo albums, because now who has prints out photos anymore? We just have them on our phone. So being able to recall those memories and talk about, even as we're packing things up, it triggers a memory and we talk about it. But it was really funny, because the last 2 weeks of August, just getting my kids ready to go off to university, and my mom said, you know what, I'll let you have this time. And as much as I'm going to miss the girls, I'm kind of looking forward to them going, because then I get you all to myself. I was like, okay, Mom, give me these 2 weeks and then I'm all yours.
I'm all yours. And that's one of the things, being in this stage of life too, you get to spend certain time with the people, and you should make those times. I think that's the piece. Like, we get stuck in the hustle bustle. And if you're not reminded to say, hey, actually take a moment to go do this, take a moment to do that. And then when you're also moving houses and downsizing and packing, that looking through pictures. And I call it the nuggets of love. When you find these things that you're like, they kept this. And so those sorts of things. And then also just having the bin. Like, I have 2 bins of photo albums from my mom's house that, to be quite honest, it can't go anywhere. It's got to come. Because later when someone's telling my story, they're sitting there going, well, this is her mom. They're part of your story. And so those photos, as much as we all love digital, the hard copy ones are irreplaceable.
Yeah. And it was nice because I just celebrated my 50th birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I took those baby pictures from my photo album, and I had them kind of just around, and it was nice. It was nice to have that. And I never would have thought of that if, we weren't going through this process.
Oh, congratulations on 50.
Thank you. And to you too. Thank you. We're fellow Virgos.
Virgos and fellow 50s. And that's kind of where we bonded on. It's actually quite funny how we met, but when we met, it kind of just clicked. And so I love this story. So, okay. So we talk about, our parents, they're going away. So how they're traveling, where are they going? Do you know?
They're going to Vietnam and Cambodia with their friends. Oh yeah. Like they're... that's the kind of retirement I would love to have. To be able to do that.
And so traveling for them, they seem to still be with it. You said they're good with the technology and all that stuff. Is there anything that you're prepping for them to help them go on their travels? Because that's the other piece of when you are in the sandwich years and others are traveling, either the ones that are that are dependent on you on any side of the bun, you kind of have to help support that piece. So is that...
Not so much. I mean, it's really good that they're traveling with a group of friends. And so there's a person in their group that's like me, the organizer.
Okay.
And so that in that way, they're good. It's just have a copy of the itinerary, make sure, we know where they are, we can reach them, that everything's taken care of. And
that's typically what you do with your dependents, regardless of their age, is to make sure, where are you going?
Exactly.
And when are you coming back? And do you need a ride? And then also checking in on their homes and doing what you need to do. Okay. So that's fun. That's going to be a great trip.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're going to have to hear back about that. So we'll have to have you back again for that piece. Okay. So that's your parents. They seem like, let's talk about your other bud, which is your in-laws.
My in-laws, yes. So we, unfortunately, my father-in-law passed away earlier this year after a long battle with dementia, and he had a fatal stroke. So that was hard. My mother-in-law is thankfully here, and she's doing well and able to live independently. But it's also... making sure that we go see her every week and she has that support, and that it's just making her not feel as lonely, because it's hard when you've been married to somebody for 56 years. And the last few years were tough. They were probably not how she imagined her last few years with her husband to be. And the struggle and the emotion and the resentment sometimes that builds up when you have to see a loved one go through that. But she is, I'm happy to say, adjusted. She takes it day by day.
And that's what happens with grief. Like, I'm sorry to hear about your father-in-law. And I totally can memorize with you, and you know that. And that's the thing that everybody forgets, is sometimes the person who was their partner or the one that they were in love with, or that part, it's a loss. So that's one piece. Also, it's your father-in-law. That's still also a loss for you. And so for your husband, definitely, because it's his dad, but they're your family too.
Oh yeah. We've been married for 25 years. I mean, he was our, like a dad to me as well, and a grandfather. And so it is a loss, especially when you go through those firsts, right?
Every first is going to be hard.
Every first
the holidays are going to be hard.
Father's Day was hard. Christmas is coming up. That's going to be hard. Yeah, all of that. And so, finding those moments that we can remember him and celebrate him and still incorporate his memory into those special moments. And I'm glad that his 4 grandchildren were old enough to spend time and know him before he passed. A lot of grandchildren don't get that time with grandparents,
and try to have those times. Like I'm very fortunate on that instance as well with my kids and my mother-in-law as well. So it was just, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit the whole family in varying degrees. I hope your husband is coping. Like it's not an easy loss to lose a parent.
Yeah.
And so
he said to me, he felt like he'd lost his dad 10 years ago when the dementia offset, because the last little while it wasn't really the person we knew that we were seeing. And so mentally we were prepared for him to go, as hard as it is to lose that physical being. But he said, I felt that loss a long time ago.
Yeah. When it's they say that dementia is like the slow death kind of thing, and it's saddening sometimes when they can't recognize you when all you really need them to do is give you that look or that hug. Yeah. And the fact of just seeing them, not seeing them. Yeah. You know exactly. Like seeing them but not seeing them.
It's like seeing a shell, right?
Yeah. And once in a while they'll give you a spark of their personality or a spark of them. Yeah. And once you get that spark of them, that's when you're like, oh, you're still there. You're still there. And you want to hug them. And so it's still very hard. But when they actually go, it's very hard as well. Yeah. So I'm glad he's speaking with you. I'm glad, because that's the thing. You got to keep that communication going as much as possible. I find, and I'm not generalizing, men are very quiet. Yeah. And so making sure that piece is taken care of. And then your mother-in-law as well, constant visits. Yeah. The survivor is always, they feel guilt. They feel all of the emotions, and even just being in their space without them. Yeah. It's a lot. And so whatever you can possibly do to support them, don't forget about them. Yep. After the funeral, they still need you. They probably need you even more. Yeah. And so I hope the kids they're away at school, but they were around, they saw everything, and they're probably always checking in
for sure. And that's the wonders of technology, is that they're able to drop a text anytime or just give a quick call to say, hey, Grandma, how you doing? Just checking in and give an update on the day. And whenever the girls are home, we make it a point to make sure that the family gets together and everyone gets to see each other. And
okay. Last question, is there any cultural things that you noticed on any sides of the bun that you had to kind of sit there and go, oh, I didn't realize that this happens, or whatever?
Yeah, I think, we were talking earlier about the long-term care homes and nursing homes, and, coming from a South Asian culture, we're used to, you take care of your elderly parents at home. My dad's dad, he lived with us. He actually passed away in our family home. I still remember that moment. My mom's mom, my grandmother, my mom's brother kept her. She lived with him.
It's just part of the culture.
It's part of the culture. I still remember the first experience when my mom's eldest brother, with the Alzheimer's, his wife had passed away, and his kids, they just couldn't. They kept him at home, but it just wasn't sustainable, and they had to put him in a home. My mom was like, how could they do this? You can't. That's not how we do things. And even my father-in-law, right? It was very hard for my mother-in-law because, again, culturally, that's not what we do. But after them seeing and experiencing that, sometimes it is the best. People can get the best care, the care that they need, plus that socialization piece. Yeah. As much as you can have PSWs come for a few hours in a day, spending your day alone in your own space
might not be right for
might
them.
Not be ideal. Yeah. And so that sense of community and care and socialization is
could
important.
Happen outside.
And so I think from a cultural standpoint, that's been the biggest adjustment I've seen from my parents' generation to my generation, that stigma around putting your parents into a long-term care home isn't a bad thing. It doesn't mean you're a bad child or that you don't care. It's just sometimes what is best for that person in that situation.
Perfect. So thank you so much for telling your story. Is there one piece of advice or two pieces of advice you would give to somebody who's in a similar story with yourself, besides hiring an organizer?
Besides hiring an organizer, you know what? It's just cherish the moments that you have. You never know. Life can change in an instant. So what may seem like an obligation or a burden, flip it on its head and say it's an opportunity to just spend some precious time with someone you love, because you never know when that time will run out. And that life transitions happen, and take them as they come and adapt with them. It doesn't, as much as I miss my kids, it's given me an opportunity to fill my days and my time and spend my energies in different ways. Doesn't mean I love them any less or I'm being selfish, but it's just I can do different things now that I may not have had the opportunity before, and my kids will come back home.
Yeah. No. It's perfect. I think just to sum up what you're saying is you're going to, while you're in the heart of it, you're probably cursing every moment or you're upset, but try to take a second to flip it, and it will help you get through those times.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chantal. I really enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you all. So if you have any questions, comments, put it in the chat area. Also follow through, and we'll probably have Divya back on the show again.
So I'll talk post-move.
Well, post-move as well as post-trip, because I'm having a feeling they're going to be on this trip and enjoying it. And they may decide, guess what? We're not coming back.
Oh, God.
And you're going to be like, what? I've got to move you all into the condo all by myself and do all that. So no, stay tuned for the next show. Take care.